Amazing audience, you're hearing it live here. So this is your camera, if I'm not mistaken, Stephen, and this is my camera. Boom. Is that correct? Are we good? Yeah, boom. All right. Amazing audience. We are live with Stephen Scoggins. Stephen Scoggins and I have connected back in 2013 in an amazing way. It has been that long. Yeah, Tennessee Entre Leadership 2013.
That's right.
Then we connected on the podcast when I launched in 2016.
Which is phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. Then we did 2017 where he actually had me at his conference, which is Transform You, which was transformational.
Oh, thanks,
pun intended.
man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And now I'm back in. Well, I'm forward. I like to say forward instead of saying I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm forward now at his office space. He's made it available for us to be able to host other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the 12-minute RV Convo thing, right? Which is, yeah, it is what it is.
It's a long drive, that's what it is.
But with further ado, I mean, Stephen was episode 69, and then he repeated another episode again. He was one of my second guests, which is amazing. But with further ado, Stephen, do tell us. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, man. All the way from Trinidad, man. I appreciate you guys coming. That's awesome.
I appreciate you as well. Do tell us, I mean, give us an update as to where you are, what you're doing.
Yeah, so I've done a couple different interviews in the last year, but essentially last year, during Transform You, some of the audience was aware that I went through a pretty substantial transformation of my own. I had to replace my entire executive team, my flagship business, kind of overnight. Wasn't anticipating that before we started our live event. And,
which is Chi, right?
Yeah, which is the CH, which has been rebranded as the CHE companies.
There we go, custom home.
Yeah, because I've got so many different legs. I got CHE commercial and custom home exteriors, and probably CHE remodeling, and employ about 50 salary folks, about another 380 1099 folks across 3 states.
Sweet.
So it's a lot of my shoulders.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's been interesting the last year for sure. But we had an amazing event at Transform You. We had a lot of great feedback and a lot of great things with the journey principles, and that was incredible. And having you part of that was just it meant the world to me to have you there.
I appreciate that.
And
it really good.
Yeah, it really touched my heart. And then the last year's just been busting it. Trying to get things situated with my main flagship company and looking at buying a new facility I was sharing with you guys. And God willing, that'll happen in September. And we'll be able to host Transform You live events and other live events for some of my friends in the business. And that's right. Yeah. Facility seats like 350 to 400 people.
Sweet.
Already outfitted with audio and lighting. And CHE will also move into the facility on the left-hand side of it.
Yeah.
And essentially journey principles will be on the right.
You're amazing.
God's amazing. He's been awesome to me.
God is the boss.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do it? How do you? It seems as though you could not be a tall guy. Being a tall guy would be too much for you.
Yeah, I would be definitely over the top. I've actually thought about that recently. Because it's already been painful enough to be humbled at this level.
Exactly.
If I'd been tall, I'd really had to myself.
Wow, I can imagine. Yeah, Stephen. Yeah, because you carry a lot. It's not like it's not like an air balloon.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like if I stick you pop.
Yeah.
You really do carry a lot. As an interviewer, I'm supposed to be neutral, but I mean, whatever. Right? I'm really impressed by what you do, how you do it, and how you carry it. Do tell us, like one of the segments we have is your own unique real shoes.
Yeah.
Which speaks about I see your shoes.
I'm
it's
tennis
some nice
today.
shoes, right?
Yeah, it's
nice Air Max, right?
Yeah.
But the feet.
Yeah.
In the shoes.
Yeah.
What has been some of the challenges that those feet have walked in those shoes?
Well, I alluded to before we popped on air that I've driven over 55,000 miles in a year, and you're about to come close. I've walked the equivalent of about 150 miles in a pair of work boots.
Wow.
They were soaked with sweat and dealt with the stuff that goes along with that, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
I had to hit over 350 job sites, some of those on a regular basis. I took one of my sons to Greenville, South Carolina with us recently to one of the places we're trying to open up CHE at. And he's like, it's 4 hours one way. I said, son, you do realize I made this trip to Savannah, Georgia and Hilton Head more than 15 or 20 times during last summer.
Wow.
And in a single day, I'd get up at 5. I'd drive 5 hours one way. I'd conduct my business, drive 5 hours back, just so I could have some time with my family.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that God has taught me during this whole process is another level of humility, which is important. Another level of thanksgiving, which is important. but also the difference between power and authority. Power comes from a place of self-ego, self-interest. It's you trying to control or trying to manipulate a situation. Where authority is something you're given with humble confidence because you've now been seen as trustworthy with a new level of growth, a new level of people to be stewarded, or money to be stewarded, or businesses to be stewarded. So I've been trying to focus in this last year of training and raising up people here to have the authority and the capacity to do things on their own and be empowered to do so with limited to no direct oversight. Wow. Where I can focus directly on the executive team, try to pour into them as much as I can, use authority and not power to influence. See, authority uses influence, power uses control. And I think as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we get stuck in that rat race. Even in our personal life, we're excited to be kind of launching a new phase of Journey Principles in the near future with video and some other podcasts and things we're going to be doing there. But this whole last season has been about learning humble confidence and then maximizing the authority that's kind of given there. And then obviously never being the smartest guy in the room or the smartest gal in the room, being there to learn. I learn something from every single person I come in contact with. I'm not the greatest of listeners all the time, but I'm still learning. But that's been the last year, man. It's been amazing, but challenging all the same.
So you drove all those miles, right? Did that contribute a lot in terms of that quiet time now?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I did a lot of before that season. I would do a lot of audiobooks, a lot of videos, a lot of podcasts, things, because I was always wake up in the morning, feed your mind, body, and soul. So hit the gym, listen to a podcast, watch a video, do these different things that kind of feed your mind, body, and soul. This last season forced me to kind of go into not seclusion as much as it was, or isolation as much as it was, in a deep reflection for me as a person of faith, with a very deep one-on-one time with God. And I knew better than to ask Him, why me? I knew better than to ask Him that question. I knew the question was, what do you want me to learn? What is it you're trying to crush out of me? And I went to a live event recently called Power and Love with a guy named Todd White, and it was beautiful to see ministry done well, because I've been to a lot of seminars just like you have. Some of those you get there and you're like, okay, this guy's legit. Their mission's legit. They're actually after trying to impact people. And other times you get there and it's like, this dude's only after money. This isn't cool. And I've been to so many Christian-based seminars, and I got the back end. I was like, man, this is all about money. I don't like this. Well, this particular event was awesome in the event that it wasn't about that. It was about legitimate. So what I learned there is Todd White himself, who's an amazing person. It'd be nice if you guys can connect one day. I can't introduce you directly, but if you guys can do that, it'd be awesome. His mindset is based on impact. His mindset is based on the amount of crushing that he experienced to prepare the diamond that was in the middle. So when you got to a certain level or got to a certain platform, or you were able to speak to more people or have the authority to speak to more people, that he was greater prepared. And one of the things I took away from being around him in that environment specifically was the amount of crushing it really takes to have somebody trustworthy to actually be the illustrator of faith or teaching or instruction. Because you know this, I mean, you've been around for a lot, some people I have. Some great, some people are awesome and they actually do the legit thing and they do the right thing, and some people they're about the Benjamins. And I'm whether I'm at I finally realized whether I'm at CHE or JP or out in the public or having a dinner or something at a lunch at a restaurant, for example, I finally understood that no matter where I am, I still have the power to exercise whatever gifting or whatever authority that I have to help another person. So impact became not about the vehicle of impact as much as it was being available to be the impact.
Which is amazing. I think in life that is exactly what happens. We are not available to even exercise the talents we have. Just like you said, I mean, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, right? Immediately I think, well, individuals would want to scale. And scaling is good, but then the values need to be taken into account. What are the values I want to have here? And if the values are necessary, then the input needs to be there. And you being the input need to be molded accordingly.
That's right.
That's fascinating.
You got to live out your values. I mean, you walked into our corporate office here for CHE and our values are hanging right over the door. Be caring, considerate of everyone, pursue a spirit of excellence and gratitude, be teachable, maintain a spirit of humility. I mean, all these things are at the essence of everything that I try to bring forth, but that also means I have to live them out.
Would you say and would you agree that it was worth it?
It's funny you say that. That seminar ended 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was pulling off, it was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I was pulling off the exit, getting back on the 40 to come see my wife, who I hadn't seen in a week, who insisted I go to this event, by the way.
Yeah.
She's like, your heart's been broken long enough, you need to go get some healing because it's almost time for you to come out of hiding. It's time for you to help people again, kind of thing.
Wow.
And as I was getting on to 40, I literally started weeping like a baby, and I said, God, thank you for last year.
Wow.
Because of everything He taught me in the process, it's changed me permanently.
Yeah.
And much of that, I would like to believe, is for the better.
Yeah.
I was able to move past bitterness and resentment because, criminal activity is criminal activity. You can't get around that stuff.
Exactly.
But I don't have to carry the burden of what happened with me in tomorrow for what could be.
Love it.
So,
folks, let me check something here.
How are we doing?
It's always challenging.
Is it 12 minutes?
No, we have 1 more minute.
All right.
It's always challenging to keep this guy to 12 minutes. But if people want to connect with you, find out more of you,
Yeah.
I mean, just hear you speak. I mean, again, I'm endorsing what I've experienced with
Sure,
you
thank
to
you.
transform you. It was actually too much. I mean, what type of complaint is that, right?
Yeah.
That is too much. Like, we actually asked for a break because of the amount that was given to us.
The content,
so
yeah.
just imagine that. Like, imagine you go to a conference and you aren't like, there's a carrot in front of the horse type model. No, it was like, here's this is what it is. And
It's true.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, if anything, my complaint is it was too much. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
Well, I think you told me to make it not over 3 days, but you need to make it over like 5.
Yeah. So that I would say, well, where can people
Yeah.
connect with you? What's the best place for them?
You know that right now the still easiest thing to do is journeyprinciples.com.
Wonderful, and
Yeah.
that will give you a snippet into
Absolutely.
where we're going. All right.
Yeah, very cool.
Wonderful. When you heard that this Caribbean guy is coming to meet you again, what did you think?
My heart jumped, man. I love you to death. Yeah, I mean, I did. It was funny. We were sitting there after one of the Transform You events, and of course I was wrecked because of the stuff that I was facing personally. You're like, man, he said, God's got you on this, and by the way, he said, I think we can do it like you should do it like this and do it like this. And like I said, Valerie, you can write everything he's saying. Yeah, so it was awesome. So
I appreciate you, my friend.
Very
Well,
cool.
thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
My pleasure, brother. Love you, man.
Ooh.